Okay, we're back. We're going to be on page 60, I think 60, page 60 of our textbook, tutorial 2. We're going to look at formatting some cell text and some other things in this chapter. Pretty simple chapter based on the grades that I saw from tutorial 1. I think you guys are going to be pretty easy for you to get this stuff. But here's our Moodle site. The instructions say to click to open ExerComp workbook, and here it is right there. Left click on it one time. It's going to open up hopefully here pretty soon. I got to open it this way. You may have to open it a different way, but this is how I have to open it mine. And it might take a second. I want to talk about cells and how they look and what they do and blah blah blah. So let's take a look at this. So here's our workbook and our worksheet. This is a documentation page, and if I were to show you that by doing this, we've got documentation page, yearly sales, and monthly sales. You can see we have actually data in these. So we're going to go back to here. What I want to do is I want to show you a couple simple things here, and then we'll move on. Over the weekend, I was in the lab, and I had a couple students come in, and one person asked me, hey, if I have, in fact, let's just go over here to the yearly sales. When Excel opens up, the default settings are pretty simple to understand. My font is Calibri, it's at 11. And my number default is in general. The cells, what that means is the cells here have a general default. They have just a general setting. If I left click on this tab, this number, this bottom arrow, here's all the options I have that are the most common options. I can change it to a number format, to a currency format, an accounting format. We're going to do that stuff here pretty soon. But right now it's a general format. Okay, the text and the numbers here, the text here are all general. Even the numbers are general. Okay, let me show you what I mean by the difference between what you see in the cell and what the cell is formatted as. If I go up here and I change these, and we're going to do it, but I want to show you this real simply. If I go up here and I change these to accounting, that was accounting, and I say it's accounting because that's what it shows up right there. These cells here have formatted for accounting. These cells here are what I'm going to do for currency. You can see the difference. It's a pretty simple difference, and that's about all there is really to it. In the accounting format, the dollar sign's on the very far left of the cell. On the currency format, it's right up next to the last number. Pretty simple to understand. Alright, I'm going to delete these. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these things. I'm going to get rid of the data I have inside there. Okay, so I'm going to right click, and I can go to here that says clear content. If I left click on that, my data goes away. What did not go away though is the formatting of that particular cell. That's important to know, especially when we get into something called Format Painter. You all know how to do copy and paste. You've done it probably with Word 1,000 times. In Excel, because I went in and I formatted C7 to be accounting, even though I deleted what's in C7, the format is still accounting. That's really important to understand. I really want to make sure everybody gets that. Okay, so I'm going to undo these things, and I'm going to go back to where I was. And we're going to go back to the documentation page. Let's scroll up here, and we're going to see what it wants me to do. Okay, these right now, the formatting is set for Calibri with an 11 size font. We're going to change that. I'm at the bottom of page 61. Okay, it wants me to change the font type here to a different font type, and it says to Cambria. So I'm going to go up here to font, left click on font. Here are my options. Cambria is one that I normally use, so it's up here. You probably have it on yours too as one of the top ones. If not, I'll find it down here. Okay, here's Cambria right there. So I click on Cambria, and now you can see that the text in A1 is a different text, a different font than in A2 and the rest of the worksheet. Now it says it wants me to change that also to, let's see, I'm at the top of page 62, font size of 26. Simply go to here, left click, go to 26. That's pretty simple. Then it says, hey, by the way, while you're there, bold it. All I got to do is click this button here, and I can bold ExerComp. Then it wants me to go to A2. We're going to change that to Cambria. Left click, select Cambria, but we're going to make it a smaller font. We're going to go to 10. So I do that. Pretty simple. And now we're going to italicize it also. So I'll go back into A2 and press italicize. Okay. We're going to go A4 to A6. And we're not going to change anything other than just we're going to bold that. So I just click the bold button and now it's bolded. Bold. And I go to A7 and I'm pretty much done with that particular section. Notice what I have here. I hope we have the same thing. Well, now we're going to change and make it a little bit nicer. Okay. So we're going to select range A1 to A2. We're going to change the font color. There's two different things I can do with font colors, or with colors. I can either make the font a different color, or I can make the actual background or the actual cell itself a different color. Here we're going to just change the lettering here. If it's numbers, we'd be changing the numbers, but we're just going to change the lettering. I go up here, this button here is my fill color. I would fill the cell with a different color. This is a font color. So I left click here, and these are my basic colors. The first thing I want to point out that's important that some people miss, and I understand it, I get it, is that the instructions say instructions 2 say to click on the font arrow. Instructions 3 on the top of page 63 says point to the blue color, the 8th color in the standard colored section. This is a theme color, this section here. This is the standard color here. Okay, some people think blue, okay, blue's one of these, I'm just going to pick a blue. That would be wrong. This here is a standard color bar. This is not blue, this is light blue. As I run my cursor over, I see that it is light blue. If I click here, it says blue. This is a light green. This is green. So I'm going to click on blue and make them both blue. Okay. So we're going to actually now just change, instead of the entire text of ExtraComp, we're going to change just the word comp. Two ways to do it. The text says to double click in A1. When I double click in A1, notice how my cursor appears in A1. So that means that I can go in there and change each individual letter or a phrase to a different color. Well, it wants me to select comp. With this in here, I'm going to select comp. I left click and just select the word comp. Now I'm telling Excel I'm just going to do something with the word comp, not with the word extra. And it wants me to change that to a red color. So I go back up to my font color, left click, standard color, red. And there we go, ExtraComp. Kind of looks kind of cute. Okay, the other way I could have done it was just click on A1, make it my active cell, go up here and select the word comp and change it to a different color. Notice how I did that. But either way works. I can't tell how you did it. I don't really care how you did it. But as long as it looks like this, that's what I care about. Okay, so now we're going to go to 64. Bottom of page 64. We're going to manipulate some of these things here now, okay? Select range A4 to A6. Steps 2 says click the fill color button, which is this one here, and we're going to change that to blue. Okay. And then what I'm going to do in step 3 is, while these are still identified, they're still highlighted, they're still the active cells, A4 through A6, we're going to make the font a white under the theme color. White doesn't appear in my standard, but it appears here in my white. Left click, there we go. Get out of that. Now I can see that it's starting to take some shape here. We're going to select B4 to B6. Well, there's nothing in B4, B5, but just go with me on this. We're going to select B4, B5, and B6. And we're going to, let's see, select and format the cell with a blue font on a white background. Blue font on a white background. Okay, so we'll go over to here and we pick white background. Why do we do that? It was fun for me to do that. Watch what it does though, because I have to change the width of column B to 55. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. Remember how to do that. I have B column identified. I can slide over and make it 55. Whew, got it. Or I can simply just right click, column width, and type in 55. And it makes it 55 wide. Okay? Alright, so that's it. That's the end of 64. So let's stop there. When we come back, I'm going to start on page 65. It talks about background. I may not do that because I don't really want to mess around with backgrounds. We're going to start at the top of page 67, or the bottom of page 66, and we'll start doing some number manipulation.